Hello, my dear students. How are you all? This is yours and only yours, Punkit Bhaiya. So today we are going to discuss all the questions of modern physics from JEE Mains 2025 January shift. So first of all, we'll be starting with some easy questions. The first question is here. So this question says that in an experiment with photoelectric effect, photoelectric effect, stopping potential. Okay, they are asking something about stopping potential. Okay, stopping potential increases with increase in the wavelength. No, this statement is not correct because see, the stopping potential is directly proportional to the frequency. So if wavelength increases, so frequency decreases. That is true. If wavelength increases, frequency decreases. So energy of incident photons also decreases, and if energy decreases, then the potential required to stop the electrons will also decrease. So this statement is not correct. Okay, stopping potential increases with increase in the intensity of the incident wave. No, incident light. No. Why is this so? See, if intensity is increased, what happens? I saturation increases. All right. Stopping potential is independent of intensity. So that is why this statement doesn't match with the correct answer. Okay. Stopping potential decreases with increase in intensity. As I have already stated, that stopping potential is not at all going to depend on the intensity of the incident light. So this statement is incorrect. Now, of course, if the first three statements are not correct, 4 is going to be the correct match, but let's have a look at it also. See, my dear students, all of us should know that the maximum kinetic energy of the photoelectrons is given by E times V naught, stopping potential. How? The entire kinetic energy of the moving electrons is equal to, that is the loss in the kinetic energy is equal to gain in the potential energy. So V naught is given by K max by E. So of course this statement is absolutely correct. Option number 4 is correct. Moving on to the next question. So the next question says that, so this is a reasoning question from nuclear physics. Assertion: the binding energy per nucleon, EBN, is found to be practically independent of the atomic number A for nuclei with mass number between 30 and 170. Now, my dear students, I want to tell you the power of NCERT. As we always say that, please read NCERT. So this is a direct statement mentioned in the NCERT book, Physics NCERT book, a direct statement. See what happens in this range 30 and 170. I believe all of us are aware with this curve, a very standard curve. This is binding energy per nucleon, and here we have A. The curve is something like this. This is the range 30 and this is 170. So almost we say that this region binding energy per nucleon is almost constant. Alright. So this is a direct statement from NCERT. This happens because the nuclear forces are short range forces. So even if you add 1 or 2 or maybe more than 2 number of the neutrons into the nuclei, the nuclear forces are not going to change, binding energy is not going to change. So that is why this thing remains almost nearly constant. Alright, so moving to the next question. So wait. reason are, इसको re-record करेंगे. So the next question is a reasoning question from nuclear physics. So here I can say that NCERT, that what is the power of NCERT? I always recommend students to read NCERT. So the assertion statement, the binding energy per nucleon is found to be practically independent of the atomic number A for nuclei with mass numbers between 30 and 170. This is a direct statement from NCERT. See, if you can recall this curve, something like this. On y-axis we represent EB, and that is binding energy per nucleon, and here we have A. This is 30 and this is 170. So from this figure we can very clearly see that this range is almost constant. This curve is almost flat. So that is why in this range binding energy per nucleon is independent of the mass number. It is independent of the atomic number A in this range. All right. The next statement is nuclear force is long range. Absolutely incorrect statement. Nuclear forces are short range forces. So the correct answer is going to be option number 4, I think. Yes, A is true and R is false. All right. Moving on to the next question. The frequency of revolution of the electron in Bohr's orbit varies with n, the principal quantum number, as. Okay. So I think it is very basic question. My dear students, what is frequency? Frequency is 1 by time period, isn't it? And what is time period? Time period is the distance of one rotation, which is 2 pi r, this is 2 pi r upon speed of revolution. Alright, so I can say that frequency is dependent on V upon R, isn't it? Okay, now see, V is proportional to 1 by n and R is proportional to n square. Okay, see, all of you should know that V is equal to V naught Z by n and R is equal to R naught n square by Z. So this is inversely proportional to n and this is directly proportional to n. All right, perfect. So what I get here, frequency is going to be directly proportional to 1 by n cube. All right, so the correct answer is option number 1. All right, moving on to the next question. Choose the correct nuclear process from the below options. Okay, see, we have been given 4 nuclear processes. Out of these, we have to select which one out of these 4 is going to be possible. तो बच्चों आओ देखते हैं इनमें से कौन सा process possible है. Okay, in the first one, neutron is getting converted to a proton. Okay, and it releases a positron. No, this is going to be absolutely incorrect. How? न्यूट्रॉन तो बच्चों न्यूट्रल हो गया. न्यूट्रॉन इज न्यूट्रल. न्यूट्रॉन ने प्रोटॉन रिलीज किया और पॉजिट्रॉन भी रिलीज किया. एक पॉजिटिव चार्ज एमिट करेगा और एक नेगेटिव चार्ज एमिट करेगा, तभी तो चार्ज बैलेंस हो पाएगा. सो दिस इज इनकरेक्ट. दिस कैन बी ट्रू. लेट्स सी. सी, न्यूट्रॉन emits a proton and an electron. That is correct. But the problem is with this neutrino particle. The correct reaction is neutron emits a proton and an electron as well as an anti-neutrino particle. This is beta negative decay. Okay, this is beta negative decay. All right, so that is why this is incorrect. So option number 3 is correct. All right. Okay, moving on to the next question. See, the question is, an electron in the ground state of the hydrogen atom has orbital radius this much and in the third excited state radius is this much. They are asking the ratio of de Broglie wavelengths of electron in the ground state to that in excited state. So my dear students, let's proceed it like this. See, we know that lambda, the de Broglie wavelength, this is equal to h by p, isn't it? h by p, this is de Broglie's wavelength. तो बच्चों इसको मैंने लिखा कुछ ऐसे h by m into v. Correct? Very good. So I can say that lambda is inversely proportional to v. Absolutely correct. In one of the earlier questions, we saw that velocity is proportional to 1 by n. Okay. So I can say that lambda is proportional to n. Isn't it? Please confirm, please check. Lambda is going to be directly proportional to n. Alright, very good. Now my dear students, we have to find out the ratio of de Broglie wavelengths in the ground state, that is lambda 1, to that in the excited state. Sir, kaun si excited state? So they have mentioned here third excited state. So this is lambda 4. Third excited state means fourth orbit. Okay, so this is going to be 1 by 4. Unfortunately, no option is there in the list. So according to NTA, the correct answer is 4. The correct answer they have given is 4. I don't know what logic they will give here. This is completely absurd, but NTA's answer is 4. All right. Moving on to the next question. The work functions of cesium and lithium are 1.9 electron volt and 2.5 electron volt. If we incident a light of wavelength 550 nanometer on these two metal surfaces, then photoelectric effect is possible for the case of. Okay. So bachcho, let's calculate the work function that is already given to us. इसको re-record करेंगे. Okay, so the next question is the work function of cesium and lithium are given to be 1.9 and 2.5, and the incident light has a wavelength this much. तो बच्चों क्वेश्चन में पूछा है कि फोटोइलेक्ट्रिक एमिशन किस मेटल में हो पाएगा. So let's do it. First of all, let's calculate the energy of incident light. So this will be hc by lambda. We know how much is hc. hc is 1240 by lambda is 550. All right. If we solve it, this will come out to be 2.25 electron volt. All right. This is going to be 2.25 electron volt. Now see, this is greater than the work function of cesium, but this is less than the work function of lithium. तो क्या होगा? सीजियम मेटल पे फोटो इलेक्ट्रिक एमिशन होगा, लेकिन लिथियम पे फोटो इलेक्ट्रिक एमिशन नहीं हो पाएगा. सो द करेक्ट आंसर इज ऑप्शन नंबर 4. ऑलराइट, मूविंग ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. इन फोटो इलेक्ट्रिक इफेक्ट, an EM wave is incident on a metal surface and electrons are ejected from the surface. The work function is this much, stopping potential is this much, hc is this much. We have to find out the wavelength. All right, so quite a doable question. So my dear students, what we can do here, see, what is K max? E minus phi, isn't it? So K max is how much? K max is equal to E V naught, E minus phi, isn't it? How much is V naught? Stopping potential is 2 volt. So how much will be K max, E V naught? It is going to be 2 electron volt, isn't it? It is going to be 2 electron volt. How much is E? I don't know. How much is phi? 2.14 electron volt. So energy of incident photons is coming out to be 4.14 electron volt, isn't it? So the next step and the final step is we just have to equate it with hc by lambda, and hc here is given to be 1 2 4 2 by lambda. So lambda comes out to be how much, my dear students? 1 2 4 2 by 4.14. If we solve it, we will get 300 nanometer. Option number 4 is absolutely correct. Moving on to the next question. So in photoelectric effect, the stopping potential V नॉट वर्सेस फ्रीक्वेंसी. ओके, तो बच्चों यहाँ पे जो क्वेश्चन है उसके लिए हमको स्टॉपिंग पोटेंशियल और फ्रीक्वेंसी के बीच में ग्राफ प्लॉट करना आना चाहिए. सो लेट्स ड्रॉ द ग्राफ वंस. It will be quite easy. I think we should draw it somewhere else. This is stopping potential and this is frequency. All right. So the graph looks something like this, a straight line. All of us should know. Some basic points about the graph. See, if I write it theta, how much is tan theta? How much is tan theta? Tan theta is h by e. How? I will tell you. See, k max is equal to hf minus phi. What is k max? ev naught is equal to hf minus phi. What is v naught? h by e into f minus phi by e. Just comparing it with y is equal to mx plus c, we get this graph, we get slope, we get this coordinate. How much, what will be this coordinate? This coordinate is going to be this phi by e. Yes, very good. Anything else we have missed here? What is going to be this coordinate? This coordinate is going to be, will it be phi by h? Yes, sir. This will be phi by h. Why? Because stopping potential is 0. If we put here 0, so f will come out to be phi by h. All right. तो बच्चों अब देखते हैं एक एक स्टेटमेंट करके. V naught versus frequency, that is nu means frequency, is linear. Absolutely correct. 100% correct statement. The slope of V naught versus nu is phi naught by h. नहीं बच्चों, स्लोप तो h by e है. गलत स्टेटमेंट. नेक्स्ट स्टेटमेंट, h constant, h is a Planck's constant here, is related to the slope of v naught versus nu. So yes, that is correct. See, what is the slope? कितना स्लोप है बच्चों इस स्ट्रेट लाइन का? the slope is h by e, और स्लोप में तो e आ रहा है ना, तो इसका मतलब this is correct. All right. Next, the value of electric charge of electron is not required to determine h using v naught versus nu. तो बच्चों यहां पे बोला जा रहा है कि अगर मुझे इस ग्राफ की हेल्प से प्लैंक्स कांस्टेंट की वैल्यू चाहिए, ओके, अगर मुझे इस ग्राफ की हेल्प से प्लैंक्स कांस्टेंट की वैल्यू चाहिए, तो बच्चों फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल प्लैंक्स कांस्टेंट मुझे कहां पे दिख रहा है? दो जगह, एक तो स्लोप में और एक ये वाले कोऑर्डिनेट में. तो ये कह रहे हैं कि अगर मुझे h की वैल्यू चाहिए तो मुझे इलेक्ट्रॉनिक चार्ज की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. तो बच्चों नो, दिस स्टेटमेंट इज इनकरेक्ट. क्यों? देखो, अगर मुझे h की वैल्यू चाहिए तो मुझे स्लोप चाहिए होगा. ऑफ कोर्स आई विल नीड स्लोप, बट स्लोप अगर चाहिए, स्लोप हमको पता है, h चाहिए तो e भी तो पता होना चाहिए. यहां से बेसिकली आया क्या? यहां से आया h इज इक्वल टू स्लोप मल्टीप्लाइड बाय e. तो e तो चाहिए हुआ ना हमें यहां पे. सो दैट इज व्हाई d इज नॉट करेक्ट. स्टेटमेंट नंबर e, द वर्क फंक्शन कैन बी एस्टिमेटेड विदाउट नोइंग h. दिस इज करेक्ट. क्वेश्चन में बोला गया है कि h की वैल्यू के बिना ही हम वर्क फंक्शन कैलकुलेट कर सकते हैं. यस, जब हम ये ग्राफ प्लॉट करेंगे तो हमें ये कोऑर्डिनेट तो पता चल ही गया ना. ये कोऑर्डिनेट हमको पता चल गया. अब जब हमें ये कोऑर्डिनेट पता चल गया तो हमको ई हमको पहले से पता है, कोऑर्डिनेट पता है, ई पता है, तो फाई भी तो पता चल गया हमको. सो यस, दिस स्टेटमेंट इज करेक्ट. सो द राइट आंसर इज ए, सी एंड ई, ऑप्शन नंबर 4. ऑलराइट, मूविंग ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. The ratio of the power of a light source S1 to that the light source S2 is 2. Okay, so बच्चों यहां पे हमें एक इंफॉर्मेशन गिवन है इस क्वेश्चन में. They are saying that P1 upon P2 is 2. Have I written the correct ratio? S1 की पावर का रेशियो S2 की पावर के साथ 2 है. So yes, absolutely this statement is correct. Okay, now the question is then the number of photons per second emitted by S2. Okay, very good. So I think quite a doable question. So bachcho, what is the expression for power? What is the expression for power? What is power? Power is hc by lambda. सर ये तो एनर्जी होती है. एब्सोल्युटली ट्रू, ये तो एनर्जी होती है. लेकिन अगर इस एनर्जी को मैं नंबर ऑफ फोटोन्स पर सेकेंड से मल्टीप्लाई कर दूं. अच्छा, अगर hc बाय लैम्डा क्या है? एनर्जी. किसकी एनर्जी? एक फोटोन की. hc बाय लैम्डा एक फोटोन की एनर्जी, उसको n से मल्टीप्लाई कर दिया, यानी कि टोटल नंबर ऑफ फोटोन्स. तो वो क्या बन गया? टोटल एनर्जी. लेकिन मैं यहां पे n को टोटल नंबर ऑफ फोटोन्स नहीं ले रहा हूं, मैं इसको ले रहा हूं नंबर ऑफ फोटोन्स पर सेकेंड. All right, so from this number of photons per second is coming out to be directly proportional to P and lambda. So N2 by N1 is equal to P2 by P1 multiplied by lambda 2 by lambda 1. Okay, so N2 is equal to, what is P2 by P1? This is 1 by 2, because P1 by P2 is 2. So P2 by P1 is 1 by 2. Okay, what is lambda 2? Lambda 2 is 300. What is lambda 1? 600. 300 by 600 multiplied by N1 is how much? N1 is 2 into 10 raised to the power 15. Sorry. So if you solve this, this will become, it will be 0.5 multiplied by 10 raised to the power 15. So according to the correct given option, it will become 5 into 10 raised to the power 14. So the correct answer will be 5, isn't it? Moving on to the next question, my dear students. The question is again a reasoning question. Emission of electrons in photoelectric effect can be suppressed by applying a sufficiently negative electron potential to the photoemissive substance. Yes, true, they are talking about stopping potential. ये किसकी बात कर रहे हैं बच्चों? ये बात कर रहे हैं stopping potential की. तो बिल्कुल सही statement है ये. Second statement is a negative electric potential which stops the emission of electrons from the surface of a photoemissive substance varies linearly with frequency. अभी हमने देखा ही था कि stopping potential और फ्रीक्वेंसी का ग्राफ लीनियर होता है, अभी हमने देखा था. सो ये भी स्टेटमेंट करेक्ट है, लेकिन एक्सप्लेनेशन तो नहीं हुई ना. ये दोनों इंडिपेंडेंट स्टेटमेंट्स हैं. दिस इज नॉट सपोज टू बी द एक्सप्लेनेशन ऑफ असर्शन. सो द करेक्ट आंसर शुड बी ऑप्शन नंबर 4. इट विल बी ऑप्शन नंबर 4. मूविंग ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, माय डियर स्टूडेंट्स. Okay, again a very basic question. The question is, we have to depict the graph between 1 by k and lambda. Okay, so my dear students, lambda is given by h by p. So many times we have used this expression of de Broglie wavelength. Okay, so this will be h by 2mk, isn't it? Absolutely correct. Okay, so if we square it, so it will become lambda square, this will be lambda square h square by 2mk, isn't it? Okay, so 1 by k is directly proportional to lambda square, isn't it? Please check. So क्या ये बच्चों कुछ ऐसी फॉर्म नहीं बन गई क्या y is directly proportional to x square? Why? Because on y-axis in each of the four graph we have 1 by k, and in x-axis we have lambda. Okay, so this is a parabolic equation. Option number 2 is correct, because y-x graph in this case is parabolic like this, starting from origin. All right, moving on to the next question. The number of spectral lines emitted by atomic hydrogen that is in the 4 state, directly see that you have to apply 1, 2, 3, 4. You can just directly apply. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3 and 4. How many possible ways are there for this electron to jump to the ground state? Although it can be, see, either it can jump straight from 4 to 1, it can jump from here and then here and then here. How many wavelengths have we got? We have got 4 wavelengths. ऐसे भी कर सकता है, it can go up to 2 and then from 2 to 1. This is also a possible case that it can go from 4 to 3 and then directly from 4 to 1. So how many emissions have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Otherwise, you have to remember this. The answer to this question is NC2, that is 4C2, which is 4 into 3 by 2, it is 6. All right, moving on to the next question. Assertion statement question is, assertion is electromagnetic waves carry energy but not momentum. बच्चों क्वेश्चन में कहा गया है कि इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक वेव्स में एनर्जी होती है बट कोई मोमेंटम नहीं होता. रॉन्ग स्टेटमेंट. मोमेंटम होता है. व्हाई नॉट? मास ऑफ अ फोटोन इज 0. yes, that is true. If they are saying about the rest mass of a photon, so this is correct. So the correct answer is option number, which one? This one is false and this is true. Option number 3. All right. Thank you so much, my dear students. See you in the next session.